Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी 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 ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति। So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 2, entitled The Lord in the Heart, text number 27. न यत्र शोको न जरा न मृत्युर् नार्तिर्न चोद्वेगर्ते कुतश्चित् यच्चित्ततोदः कृपया निदं विदाम् यच्चित्ततोदः कृपया निदं विदाम् दुरन्त दुःख प्रभवानुदर्शनात् न यत्र शोको न जरा न मृत्युर् नार्तिर्न चोद्वेगर्ते कुतश्चित् यच्चित्ततोदः कृपया निदं विदाम् दुरन्त दुःख प्रभवानुदर्शनात् न यत्र शोको न जरा न मृत्युर् नार्तिर्न चोद्वेगर्ते कुतश्चित् यच्चित्ततोदः कृपया निदं विदाम् दुरन्त दुःख प्रभवानुदर्शनात्
यत्र शोको न जरा न मृत्युर्नार्तिर्न चोद्वेगर्ते
कुतश्चित् कृपया निदं विदाम् दुरन्त दुःख प्रभवानुदर्शनात्
न यत्र शोको न जरा न मृत्यु
न यत्र शोको न जरा न मृत्युर् नार्तिर्न चोद्वेगर्ते कुतश्चित्
यच्चित्तच्युतोदः कृपया निदं विदाम्
चित्ततोदः कृपया निदं विदाम्
दुरन्त दुःख प्रभवानुदर्शनात्
दुःख प्रभवानुदर्शनात् शोको न जरा न मृत्युर् वेदजने कुतश्चित् निदाम् दुःख प्रभवानुदर्शनात् शोको न जरा न मृत्युर् चोद्वेगर्ते Mataji. Shoko Najarana Mrityu Nate Nachodvegarite Kudai Najoka Hivayani Damvidam This is word by word meaning. No, never. Yatra, there are. Shokaha, bereavement. Na, nor. Jara, old age. Na, nor. Mrityuhu, death. Na, nor. Artihi, pains. Na, nor. Cha, also. Udvegaha, anxieties. Rite, save and accept. Kutaschit, sometimes. Yat, because of. Chit, consciousness. Tataha, therefore. Adaha, compassion. Kripaya, out of heartfelt sympathy. Anidam vidam, of those who are ignorant of the process of devotional service. Duranta, unsurpassable. Dukkha, misery. Prabhava, repeated birth and death. Anudarshanat, by successive experience. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. In that place, in that planet of Satyaloka, there is neither bereavement, nor old age, nor death. There is no pain of any kind, and therefore there are no anxieties, save that sometimes, due to consciousness, there is a feeling of compassion for those unaware of the process of devotional service, who are subjected to unsurpassable miseries in the material world. Purport. Foolish men of materialistic temperament do not take advantage of successive authorized knowledge. The Vedic knowledge is authorized and is acquired not by experiment but by authentic statements of the Vedic literatures explained by bona fide authorities. Simply by becoming an academic scholar, one cannot understand the Vedic statements. One has to approach the real authority who has received the Vedic knowledge by disciplic succession, as clearly explained in the Bhagavad Gita 4.2. Lord Krishna affirmed that the system of knowledge as explained in the Bhagavad Gita was explained to the Sun God, and the knowledge descended by disciplic succession from the Sun God to his son Manu, from Manu to King Ikshvaku, forefather of Lord Ramachandra. And thus the system of knowledge was explained down the line of great sages, one after another. But in due course of time, the authorized succession was broken, and therefore, just to re-establish the true spirit of the knowledge, the Lord again explained the same knowledge to Arjuna, who was a bona fide candidate for understanding due to his being a pure devotee of the Lord. Bhagavad Gita, as it was understood by Arjuna, is also explained, but there are also many foolish men who do not follow in the footsteps of Arjuna in understanding the spirit of Bhagavad Gita. They create instead their own interpretations, which are as foolish as they themselves, and thereby only help to put a stumbling block on the path of real understanding, misdirecting the innocent followers who are less intelligent or the Shudras. It is said that one should become a Brahmana before one can understand the Vedic statement. And this stricture is as important as the stricture that no one shall become a lawyer who has not qualified himself as a graduate. Such a stricture is not an impediment in the path of progress for anyone and everyone, but it is necessary for an unqualified understanding of a particular science. Vedic knowledge is misinterpreted by those who are not qualified Brahmanas. A qualified Brahmana is one who has undergone strict training under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. The Vedic wisdom guides us to understanding our relation with the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and to acting accordingly in order to achieve the desired result of returning home back to Godhead. But the materialistic men do not understand this. They want to make plan to become happy in a place where there is no happiness. I was thinking my own word is being sounding back to me in Hindi language. It's happening somewhere downstairs in another lower planetary system. So, such a stricture is not an impediment in the path of progress. The Vedic wisdom guides us to understanding our relationship with the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and to acting according in order to achieve the desired result of returning home back to Godhead. But materialistic men do not understand this. They want to make a plan to become happy in a place where there is no happiness. For false happiness, they try to reach other planets either by Vedic rituals or by spacecraft. But they should know for certain that any amount of materialistic adjustment for becoming happy in a place which is meant for distress cannot benefit the misguided man, because after all, the whole universe with all its paraphernalia will come to an end after a certain period. Then all plans of materialistic happiness will automatically come to an end. The intelligent person therefore makes a plan to return home back to Godhead. Such an intelligent person surpasses all the pangs of material existence like birth, death, disease, and old age. He's actually happy because he has no anxieties of material existence. But as a compassionate sympathizer, he feels unhappiness for the suffering materialistic men, and thus he occasionally comes before the materialistic men to teach them the necessity of going back to Godhead. All the bona fide acharyas preach this truth of returning home back to Godhead and warn men not to make a false plan for happiness in a place where happiness is only a myth. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Betamscha Namaum Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinam Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyava Tarini He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namo Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutede Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Padidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Bhasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. In the planet of Satyaloka, there is neither bereavement, nor old age, nor death. There is no pain of any kind, and therefore there are no anxieties, save that sometimes due to consciousness, there is a feeling of compassion for those unaware of the process of devotional service who are subjected to unsurpassable miseries in the material world. Hare Krishna, everyone. Sincere, heartfelt welcome to all of you for prioritizing this weekly Sunday Srimad Bhagavatam program and being here this morning. In this particular section, in the second canto, Shukadeva Goswami is speaking to Maharaj Parikshit, who is about to die in just 7 days. But then, because he was the emperor of the whole planet, Earth, and knowing that Shukadeva Goswami will be speaking the most glorious Srimad Bhagavatam, there were various levels of people who had come there. All types of yogis had come there. And therefore, Shukadeva Goswami is beginning with the description of the processes of yoga. Yoga is about managing one's mind. It's about desire management. The mind can be controlled. Why should the mind be controlled? Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoh. It is mind only which is the cause of entanglement and which is also the cause of liberation. Bandhaya Vishaya Sango Muktyair Nirvishayam Manaha. If the mind is attached to this world, you come back to this world. And if you are detached from this world, then you go back to the spiritual world. It's as simple as that. But it takes many lifetimes to actually deal with it. And therefore, there are so many processes. Very rare that somebody born prodigal, a prodigy, child prodigy, can directly do PhD. Generally, everyone goes through kindergarten, primary, secondary education. And so therefore, Shukadeva Goswami is explaining that various types of yoga. Just to begin conceptualizing that God is a person, there is a conception of Virata Rupa. Patalame sasya hi padamulam. Imagine the Patal Loka are his feet, the soles of his feet. Brahma Loka is his head. The sun and moon are his eyes. So many things like that. The conception that eventually God is great and God is a person, which is so difficult to understand. How can God be a person? Such a big creation. And now in this particular section he's talking about that same the Lord is also situated in the heart of every living entity as Paramatma. Radesha Matram. And that's what is being explained here. And how by controlling one's mind and desires, one can gradually elevate himself. There are 14 planetary systems, Bhur, Bhuva and Swaha, broadly divided into 3, lower, middle and the upper. And that is being described, and especially here, the highest planetary system within this material universe, the Brahma Loka or Satya Loka, is being described. And by hearing it, I'm sure everyone would like to go there, isn't it? How many would like to go here? Please raise your hand. Please listen to it. Listen to this advertisement. In that place, if you buy a ticket and go there, there is neither bereavement, nor old age, nor death, no pain of any kind, and therefore there are no anxieties. So now, how many would like to go there? Only intelligent people will raise their hand. Obviously. Why would one not like to go to a place there? But then, Krishna says in the Gita, Dukhalayam Ashashvatam, Abrahma Bhuna Loka Punaravartin. From Brahma Loka down to the Patal Loka, every place is a place of misery and temporary. How is it said it is like that? Practically, just like Devatas are Amara, practically from our point of view, they don't die at all. Because we will die a million times before they die. But that doesn't mean that they have no death. Practically Amara. So, from the earthly planet system, the higher you go, 3 things enhance, 3 things increase. What is increases? As soon as you go to a higher planetary system from Earth planet, Swargaloka, Janaloka, Maharloka, Tapoloka, etc., the first thing that increases is lifespan. In the heavenly planet, which is just next to us, 6 months here is 1 day, 12 hours. And 6 months here is 1 night. Ayana, Uttarayana, Dakshinayana. For them it is 1 day. For us it is already 1 year. And they live for 100 years. If you go a little more higher, so first thing is increase of lifespan. And in Brahma's Brahmaloka, Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Aharyat Brahmano Viduhu. Sahasra Yuga. Lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of years makes just 12 hours of Brahma. Sometimes we also see, during rainy season, night, so many as insects are born and go around this. And early morning, 4 o'clock, you come out and see in the veranda, all millions of these insects are dead. You take a broomstick and so like that, Brahma looks down and says, Gaye log. Next batch, Gaya. 20th century wale sab gaye, century maar ke. 21st century wale bhi gaye. Every night, we see so many insects coming and every morning they are dead. Easy to understand. It's not a big deal. Secondly, knowledge enhances the subtleties of how things are working. And the third is the type of happiness. The pig also is eating, and a good eater, human being, is also eating. But there is a difference between both eating. The dog is also howling at the moon. Sometimes they look at the moon and start, I don't know what inspiration comes for them to sing. And sometimes nice singers are also singing classical music. Are they both same? If they are same, all the best, you can go out and listen to a lot of music going on. So pleasure has also become more refined and subtler. And once having tasted that, everything else seems insignificant. So Sat, Chit and Ananda increases as you go up and up and up. However, wherever you go from the topmost planet down to the lowest, the basic nature of the soul, eternal, full of knowledge and absolute bliss, you can't find it in this. Brahma bhona loka punaravartinocha. You cannot find it. Practically, you can experience to a large extent in Brahmaloka, because they have almost come to that stage before they go to the spiritual world, which is Vaikuntha, Vigata Kuntha. There is no anxiety. Same. No birth, no old age, no disease, nothing. And there is bliss, constant bliss. So, this is a gradual process of elevation. It can't happen overnight. Sometimes bahunam janmanam ante. From an understanding of I am the Lord, there is no God, I am the controller, I am the proprietor, completely atheistic consciousness, to a supreme theist, a bhakta, a devotee, there are so many stages. And each of these stages cannot be achieved in like that. It takes a long time. It's like climbing a staircase of a 160-floor building. Imagine. But then, knowing that in this material realm, especially in Kali Yuga, people's lifespan is very short and they are, not so much interested in spirituality, full of suffering, so many miseries. People are actually so lazy in terms of spiritual pursuit. And even if they are interested, so many people misguide them. And even if they come to the right place, and even if they understand, there is so much difficulties actually to practice. So many miseries, so many problems. Knowing that Supreme Lord comes down as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and gives us a process by which, even though our lifespan is very short, even though we are so ignorant about this whole creation, and even though our understanding of happiness is एक अच्छा गाड़ी मिल जाए काफी है यार, 2 BHK एक मिल जाए तो काफी है, वो थोड़ा अगर दादर के इस साइड में हो जाए तो अच्छा है, दैट्स इट, मुल्ला की दौड़ मस्जिद तक. But the Lord is so merciful that He still gives us the facility that in this very lifetime, in this self-same body, you can go even beyond this Brahmaloka. You can actually go back home, back to Godhead, to the spiritual world. That is why Lord Chaitanya was glorified by Rupa Goswami. Namo Mahavadanyaya. How magnanimous you are, my Lord. Krishna Prema Pradayate. Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne. So, you don't have to directly go to Swargaloka, then Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, and Satyaloka, and then like that up there. No. While here, your consciousness can travel to the spiritual world. Nikhilasopi avasthasu jivan mukta sa uchyate. You can get the same experience. What is being told here by Shukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj? This consciousness is expressed by Prahlad Maharaj to Lord Narsingadev. Naivo dvije paraduratyaya vaitaranya twadvirya gayana maha mritamagna chittai shoche tato vimukhache tasa indriyartha maya sukhaya bharamud dvahato vimudhan. Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Lord Narsingadev has come. He said, my dear child, काय पाहिजे सांगा, बोलो क्या चाहिए, tell me what, I'll send you right back to the spiritual world. So Prahlad Maharaj is telling, can you imagine, you come to the Lord and Krishna says, suddenly jumps out of the altar, stands in the next one, near Shad Goswami wala platform, and he says, तेरे लिए राह देख रहा था, बोल क्या चाहिए तेरे को, भेज दूं गोलोक वृंदावन, जाना है, आज थोड़ा मूड में हूँ, संडे स्पेशल डिस्काउंट, थोड़ा गणपति के मूड में हूँ मैं भी, चल. He's asking, the Lord Narsingadev is asking Prahlad. And Prahlad, na eva udvije. Udvije means anxiety. I have no anxiety. He has no anxiety. Who was his father? What kind of trouble he was giving him? But Prahlad says, na eva udvije. Hey Para. Para means the Supreme Lord. Na eva udvije. Duratyaya. Duratya. This world is called Mama Maya Duratyaya. Duratyaya means extremely difficult to cross over. Because the mind is so much deeply entangled, you just can't pull it out. Mama Maya Duratyaya. It is so subtle. It's impossible, absolutely impossible without the mercy of the Lord. So he's telling, I have no anxiety, my Lord. Why? Na eva udvije para duratyaya vaitaranya. Vaitarani Nadi is the river between the spiritual world and the material world. That's like a river. Viraja, it's also called Viraja. Vigata Raja. There is no Raja. It is pure Sattva, Shuddha Sattva. Here Sattva is mixed with Raja and Tama. Creation and destruction. But then there is no creation, there is no destruction. There's only continuous bliss. So Viraja Nadi is like the border between the two worlds. So, Vaitarani, I don't want to go out the other side also. I am happy here. Naivo dvije paraduratya vaitaranya. Why? Why am I blissful? Tvad, yours, virya, your name, your form, your qualities, your activities, your glorious activities, twadvirya gayana. I am always remembering, I am chanting, and I am hearing about your name, form, qualities, and activities. I am so absorbed. Absorption. Yoga is eventually, finally about absorption in the Lord. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktutamo mata. He is considered the best yogi. All the purpose of whether it is Ashtanga, through all bodily activities, through karma, through pious activities, through jnana, through technical, analytical analysis of the whole world, how everything is temporary. Ultimately, you have to come to the point of, yes, God is the source of everything, and ultimately we are His part and parcel. We are eternally His servants, and therefore we have to serve Him and develop that dormant love. That is the ultimate prema pumartho mahan. That's the ultimate point. Whether you come like this or like this, best is to come like this. The process of bhakti. So, twadvirya gayana maha amrita magna chittai. My chitta, my consciousness is magna, absorbed. In what? Twadvirya gayana maha amrita. His namamrita, His leelamrita. That is so sweet. It is so pleasurable that everything else, including death, is insignificant. I don't even worry about it. When death comes, let it come, nah. It's all right. Troubles will come. That's it. So, one is literally going to Brahmaloka and beyond. Another one is you are here, but your consciousness is up there. Tadvirya gayana mahamrita. Acha, then? So you're fully happy? No. There is only one lamentation. Shoche. Huh? You just know you said you're blissful? Yes, for myself, I have no anxiety. Because death is of the body. All of these things are of the body. I have no anxiety. But I have only one lamentation. What is that? Shoche tato vimukha chetasa. Whose consciousness is turned away from you, my Lord. And foolishly, rather than seeking pleasure at the ocean of pleasure, Ramante yogino anante satyananda chidatmani iti ramapadena asav parabrahma vidiyate. He is the source of all pleasure. Instead of that, vimukha chetasa. They have turned around and trying to find pleasure, indriyartha, just to seek some sensual pleasure. Maya sukhaya. Temporary, insignificant, and illusory pleasure. It's actually not pleasure, but it is illusory pleasure. Maya Sukhaya. Acha. And for that, Bharam. Bharam means burden. Udvahato. They are carrying huge burden. Vimudhan. And their life is completely foolishly spent like that. What is this burden? They create empire for enjoyment. Because the more bigger facility you create to enjoy, the difficult it is to maintain. It's not easy to maintain. And most of the time goes in maintenance of these illusory palaces and all these things. So the same feeling is told by Prahlad while being here. Exactly the same experience. This is what Lord Chaitanya has given. Not only this, I have some good news for you. If you are all ready, Sunday morning before the feast, I will serve you another feast. The taste of this feast can last for this whole lifetime. अगर आपने ध्यान से सुना तो, कानों के द्वारा अपने हृदय में परमानेंटली चित्ते थे कोरियो आज्ञा इंस्क्राइब किया तो, please listen to what Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mano Abhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale. He understood the heart of Lord Chaitanya, what he has come to give. And he took that essence and gave it in such a simple way that any one of us here, sitting here, can actually achieve that. It depends upon how eager are we. Only one price is necessary to buy this. Tatrapi laulyam ekalam mulyam. It depends upon how eager you are to receive this. I will read about 12 verses. And these 12 verses can give you elevation to this state. Can you imagine? If you practice these 12 verses that I'm going to speak, all of us in this lifetime can not only achieve the consciousness of Brahmaloka, but go beyond it also. Please listen now. So he's telling, this is the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructing Rupa Goswami, which Rupa Goswami later gave it to us. Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bij. So in this way, since time immemorial, we are sometimes going up, sometimes going down. Brahmanda Brahmite, all of us have gone sometime to Brahmaloka, but we have forgotten. We have also gone to Patal Loka, we have forgotten. So many lokas, we have been traveling like that. But in this passage of time, according to our fruitive activity, Kono Bhagyavana Jeev, a very, very fortunate soul, Guru Krishna Prasade Paye, by the mercy of Krishna, who is seated in everyone's heart, and if that person, without his knowledge also, if he's seeking, I want real happiness, I'm ready to pay any price. Please, Krishna. Please, Lord, because we don't know who Lord is right now. Even if you have a little desire, the Lord is seated in our heart. By mercy of Krishna, he brings you to a guru. And the guru teaches you the science of Krishna. That is why Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bij. So by the mercy of Krishna within the heart, he brings you to a guru and gives you conviction from within. This is what you're looking for. Catch this person. And this person will bring you to me what you're looking for. So, and what does the guru do? The guru sows the bija. What is bija? Seed, right? Bija means a subtle plan about something. मेरे दिमाग में ना बिजनेस का एक बीज आया है, एक बड़ा बिजनेस करना है मेरे को, एक बीज आया. बीज मीन्स अ थॉट, जस्ट वन सीड. उसको आपने प्रेम से लगाया, सिंचन किया, पानी डाला, उगाया होगा. वन डे द होल बिजनेस मैनिफेस्ट्स. Similarly, there are so many bejas. In the innocent heart of Kaikeyi, Manthara sowed a beej of envy. And look what kind of a tree it turned into. So, Bhakti Lata beej. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem, love of God, is the fruit. But that fruit is there in the form of a seed right now in everyone's heart. It's not that it is there only in my heart or your heart. No. Every living entity in this creation, in the heart of every living entity, there is a seed of bhakti. Only thing is, we need to water it and eventually they bear the fruit of love of God. So, and Prabhupada explains what is that beej. Very beautiful, amazing definition. So he says, what is this beej? The method, rules and regulations by which one is perfectly trained in devotional service constitute the Bhakti Lata beej. The method, the rules and regulations by which the seed can eventually become a fruit, that is called Bhakti Lata beej. I will give you the process. आपके पास बीज है already. He makes you realize, ये 50 बीज पड़ा हुआ है ना, इसमें से ये जो है ना, ये बीज उठा ले बस. इसको सॉइल में डाल और अच्छा से इसको थोड़ा पानी डालते रहना, धीरे 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 the fruit will come. बाद में तू मजा कर सकता है, चख सकता है उसको. So there are so many bejas. There is karma beej. So many desires. I want to do this. I want to do this. इसका कितना अच्छा बाल है, काश मेरे भी कुछ बाल होते. इसका नाक कितना अच्छा है, काश मेरा नाक थोड़ा लंबा होता. काश मेरा कान और थोड़ा, काश मैं थोड़ा गोरा होता. काश मैं थोड़ा लंबा होता. काश मैं थोड़ा मोटा होता. काश मैं थोड़ी पतली होती. Every time you say kash, kash, you're sowing a seed, बीज. ठीक है बेटा, एक दिन तो गोरा होगा, इतना गोरा होगा, बाद में बोलेगा काला बनना है. एक दिन लंबा होना, इतना लंबा होगा, बाद में बोला छोटा बनना है. मोटा होना, इतना मोटा हो, बाद में बोला पतला बनना है. There is no perfect person here. So there is karma beej, there is jnana beej. Prabhupada says there is political beej, social beej, philanthropic beej. And whichever beej is pointed out and nourished and watered, that kind of fruit will come. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam. And it will continue your sojourn in this material existence. But by Krishna's mercy, Guru comes and says, hey, bharna karmani nirdhati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. Burn away all the seeds. इसको एक सीड को कल्टीवेट कर तू बस. भक्ति लता बीज. And then, okay, now I have understood, I've got the beej. Now what do I do? Mali hoya kore sei beej aropan. Shravana kirtana jale korohe sechan. After pointing that beej, he's telling, hey, only water this seed. So then you become a mali. Mali means a gardener. You become a gardener because you are responsible. The seed is told, the seed is identified by the Guru. He said, now you sow it in your heart. If I put this seed on the floor here, will it grow? If I put it on a cement, will it grow? If I put it on a rock, will it go? No. It has to grow on a very fertile soil. The soil, fertile soil, is one of gratitude. Kritagyata. Thank you, Krishna. I don't deserve it, but you have given it to me. You have given me the association of such pure representatives who have at least helped me. Out of gratitude, you understand the value of this Bhaktilata Bij, and having sown it, now, so first you have to sow the seed in a fertile soil. And the fertile soil is pranipatena. Humble, grateful heart. And then you have to water it regularly. And what is that watering? Right now what we are doing is we are watering that seed. Whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, whether you understand it or not. That's exactly what we are doing here. Shravana Kirtana Jale Koroho Sinchan. You have to water it regularly, not only on Sundays. Sunday is big watering. ऊपर से थोड़ा छुट्टी है ना संडे के दिन, पाइप लेके हर पत्ते को मारो, हर डाली को मारो, पर हर रोज जड़ में मारना कम से कम. To the root, every day the water should go. Two things. Shravana. And that Shravana is not any and any Shravana. That Shravana is hearing in parampara, as Prabhupada says in this purport. Imam parampara praptam, imam rajarshayo viduhu. That same knowledge that has been carried by an unbroken chain of disciples, hearing the words of Krishna in parampara from bona fide authorities or representatives of those authorities. Shravana. And then Kirtan. Now I want to chant. Now I want to speak it. So by hearing, remembering and speaking, Shravana Kirtana Jale Koroho Sechan. Sechan means watering it, sprinkling water. So it's a big responsibility. Okay, then what happens when you regularly do it? Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. It's not once in a week. This once in a week is to encourage us to do it for the rest of the week. Just like, we charge our mobile early in the morning so that rest of the day connectivity is there. So these kind of weekly satsanga is to actually charge so that every day we remember to nourish that seed. Bhaktilata Bij. Okay, then what? Upajiya Bade Lata Brahmanda Bhedi Jai. Viraja Brahma Loka Bhedi Paravyoma Pai. Can you imagine? In this very lifetime. Upajiya Bade Lata. Upajiya means it just comes out. From the seed, the sprout comes out. Upajiya Bade. And if you keep on watering, Bade Lata, Brahmanda Bhedi Jai. Forget about Brahmaloka. After Brahmaloka, it pierces the covering of the universe. Brahmanda Bhedi Jai. While you are still here in 7 km Munshi Marg. But your consciousness is going there. Brahmanda Bhedi Jai. Viraja. Viraja means that river. It passes through that river also. Viraja, Brahmaloka. And this Brahmaloka is not Satyaloka, which is planet of Lord Brahma. This Brahmaloka is Brahma Jyoti. Spiritual effulgence. It passes through that also. It is extremely, like 1,000 or million suns shining. It can actually be blinding, but it passes through that also, which is the effulgence of the Lord Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanda Koti. Passes through that also. Viraja Brahma Loka Bhedi Paravyoma Pai. Paravyoma means Vaikuntha Loka. It actually goes to Vaikuntha Loka. An interesting part here. Have you ever seen, what is a lata means? Lata? Creeper, right? Have you ever seen a creeper going like that? It catches hold of a tree. It takes support of a wall or a pillar. Otherwise, it just goes, just spreads. But this is a very unique thing. It doesn't require any support. Doesn't require any support. See that it just goes like that. Can you imagine? You keep on watering, Hare Krishna, and it is Chandrayaan. Chandrayaan, nahi, this is Golokyan. So simply going like that. Doesn't require any fuel. Doesn't require any petrol. Simply just Adav Shraddha, Dada Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nishta, Ruchi, Bhav, Prem. It just requires the faith. And she just go on doing it. So, what does that mean that it doesn't need any support? Prabhupada explains. In other words, devotional service cannot be utilized for any material purpose. This bhakti means to Bhagavan, not to the country, not to the demigods. Desha bhakti, so many devatas bhakti. No, it's glorious in its own state level. But just because that word is used, bhakti, don't think that, okay, to wo bhakti kar raha, main desh bhakti kar raha, to Krishna bhakti kar raha. No. All others require some support, but this is the only creeper. Krishna bhakti to the Supreme Lord doesn't require any support. It is on its own growing by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. And then it goes up and up and up. Tabe jai tadupari goloka vrindavan Krishna charana kalpa vrikshe kare arohan. And it doesn't stop. Because in the Vaikuntha Loka, there is awe and reverence to the Lord. There is Shantaras or there is Dasyaras. But the highest of all spiritual realm is the Golok Vrindavan, the planet of Krishna, where all of these rasas, not only Shanta and Dasya and Sakhya, but also Vatsalya and Madhurya, to its fullest extent. It's there to some extent in others, but that's the highest realm. When all of these rasas, ultimately everyone is looking for that rasa, that pleasure, that satisfaction. Only that can actually give complete satisfaction. Yayatma suprasidati, ahaituki apratihata, yayatma Then after that, even if someone dangles you the carrot of heavenly pleasures or this pleasure or Brahmaloka pleasure, tu hi rakh beta, tu hi kha. अच्छा है ना तेरे को? नहीं आप भी लो. धन्यवाद. Because it's so insignificant. So, Tabe jai tadapuri golok vrindavan, it actually goes there. And Krishna charana kalpa vrikshe kare arohan. And once having touched there, Krishna charana kalpa vriksha, it is that kalpa vriksha. Kalpa vriksha means desire tree. That lotus feet of the Lord is such a desire tree. Whatever you desire, Krishna is ready to give. But by that time, we have no other desire. Bhukti mukti siddhi kami sakala ashanta Krishna bhakta nishkama ata eva shanta. Why is so peaceful? Why is so blissful? Because other than serving Krishna, he has no other motive. Krishna says, आणखी काय पाहिजे का तुला? काही नको, संतुष्ट झालो. I'm completely happy. I'm completely satisfied, my Lord. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you want to give me, you give me more service. You give me the association of devotees. You give me your remembrance always. That's all. I don't want anything else. Because it is such a sweet, it's a refinement, a refined taste. And this is the highest rasa. Ujjvala, unnata rasa. Swabhakti Shriyam. Which even Krishna wants to taste. क्या मजा कर रहे यार ये लोग क्या पी रहे तो मुझे भी थोड़ा देना. And Krishna comes as Lord Chaitanya to taste. ये राधा रानी क्या टेस्ट कर रही है हर रोज. What is it about me that she is so mad in love with me? Krishna also wants to taste. That's the thing that Lord Chaitanya is offering all of us. Ananda chinmaya rasa pratibhavitabhis tabhirya eva nija rupata goloka. And in Goloka, everything, every object, every individual, every reciprocation is full of Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. There is no mundane, materialistic tinge. Everything is so sweet. Everything is pure. Like amras without that chilka, without that nothing, or that with a fiber, nothing. Pure. Taha vistarita hoya phale prema phal. Iha mali seche nitya shravanadi jal. This is very important. प्रभु फ्रूट आ गया हरि बोल ये लो आपका माला गुरुजी अभी आप माला करो मैं बस नो तहा विस्तारित होया फले प्रेम फल. As soon as it touches the lotus feet of Krishna, the fruit of love of God is born. And iha mali seche nitya shravanadi jal. Acha, one thing, even though the fruit is there, connection is here. If you stop watering here, it will dry up. The whole thing will dry up. In fact, the watering process itself becomes offered out of love. In fact, that's the service to Krishna. It is Nam Seva. It's wow. Can you imagine if Krishna calls you? So, Hari Bol, Vaishnav Seva Prabhu. हरी बोल मैं सुन रहा था आप मंदिर आ रहे केवल संडे आते एक काम करता हूँ एवरी डे आई गिव यू अपॉइंटमेंट फॉर 1.5 hours. कहाँ बोलो कितना मिलना है कब मिलना है किधर मिलना है. Actually it is appointment with Krishna for 1.5 hours or 2 hours. It depends upon how much time you take to chant 16 rounds. Actually abhinnatvat namanamina. In fact, you want to keep on watering the whole day. There's no other thing other than watering. Kirtaniya sadahari, sadatam kirtayantoma. Of course, it can take various forms. But it actually, you can experience Krishna within that. When the fruit grows there. Till then, utsahat, nishchayat, dhairyat. You have to be enthusiastic, you have to have faith, and you have to have patience. But once that fruit has come, then, it's just. But one should never think that, okay, phal mil gaya na abhi, band kar do abhi. No. Taha vistarita hoya phale prem phal, iha mali seche nitya shravanadi jal. Acha. Now, you may say, Prabhu ji, ये फल मिलता कहाँ है कौन से मार्केट में किलो कितना है इधर. What is this fruit? I mean, everyone wants to know, what is this fruit of love of God? Prema phal. And Prabhupada so beautifully explains, the fruit of the devotional creeper is the pure desire to serve and please the senses of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishnendriya priti ichha dhare prema naam. Atmendriya priti vancha tare boli kam. To please your own senses and mind is kama. But when that kama Krishna karmarpane, when you turn that desire to pleasing your senses and your mind to Krishna's senses, that becomes the fruit. So fruit of love of God means pure desire. Krishna, just tell me what pleases you. I don't care what the world thinks. If this is what pleases you, I will do it. And we don't know what Krishna wants. Therefore, we need a spiritual master, a pure representative who has that Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasado. So, love of God means pure desire to simply please Krishna. And the highest peak of that love is Srimati Radharani. She didn't open her eyes. She didn't open her ears. She was deaf and she was blind. She was no movement till Krishna came. Because the eyes are meant for Krishna. Ears are meant to hear about Krishna. We can't artificially imitate, but that's our aspiration. And we move, begin somewhere. And then, so fruit is born there and you're continuing to water. Now, through Rupa Goswami, Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is warning us of three things. You have to do, okay, the fruit is there, but you have to protect the creeper here. Two things. One is nourishing the creeper. Another one is protecting the creeper. Even though it has gone to Golok Vrindavan and borne the fruit, if you don't protect that creeper very carefully, it can be, two things can happen. It can break or it can be pulled out. What is it that pulls out the creeper or breaks the creeper? Jadi Vaishnava Parad Uthe Hati Mata Upadeva Chindetar Sukhi Jaye Pata. So, Jadi Vaishnava Aparad Uthe Hati Mata. Offense to the Vaishnavas. Just because you think I am so great now, I don't need the association, I don't need who are all these people, whatever. Then it's like an elephant entering a beautifully protected and maintained garden. A mad elephant, if it enters. I don't know how many have really seen an elephant. It literally pulls out anything and everything. You can crush anything, just one. If elephant has gone through a path, you can easily make out. Because everything is torn apart in the path. So, upade means jad se ukhad dena. Or chinde means it just breaks the branch. Have you seen? You just imagine the whole tree is there or a plant is there. You just pluck the root and leave it, that's all. It's only a question of time and the whole creeper goes dry. Or you break a branch and leave it. It just dries up. Connection with the root is lost, or connection with the ground is lost. And what is this Vaishnava Aparad? Later, Srila Prabhupada very beautifully explains. Giving up the regulative principles and living according to one's whims is compared to a mad elephant which by force uproots the Bhaktilata and breaks it to pieces. In this way, the Bhaktilata shrivels up. Such an offense is especially created when one disobeys the instructions of the spiritual master. This is called Guru Avagya. That's why before chanting the holy name every day, we chant the 10 offenses to the holy name. Why is it made every day, especially before chanting as a sadhana? Just to remind us, hey, you're watering, but make sure that you don't allow a elephant. This also, the protection part is the offenses part. Subtly there is a pride because the Maya says that actually tu to पहुंचा हुआ भगत है यार अब तो तो पहुंच गया ऑलरेडी वहां फ्रूट तो आ गया अभी ये लोग देख क्या कर रहे बेचारे घिस रहे माला बेचारा subtly, it can come in any form. So neglecting that inattentive kind of. Inattentive is basically what? Because we think all the 10 offenses has one thing common. One thing common. And what is it common amongst all the 10 offenses? To think the holy name to be a mundane material sound vibration. That's it. Because of that, you think that to be this, this, and this. Everything else follows that. But when you understand that it is actually not different from Krishna, therefore you kind of take it very, respectfully and devotionally. So in this way, and then he goes, Tate mali yatna kare kare avaran, aparadha hastira jaiche nahaye udgam. Therefore, mali yatna kare avaran. Avaran means you do a fence. Fence to protect from offense. Tate mali yatna kare avaran, aparadha hastira jaiche nahaye udgam. It shouldn't be born at all. The elephant shouldn't smoo ke bhi aana nahi aaye andar. So keep that protected. And then one is safe. Very beautifully, Prabhupada explains here, the first business of a Vaishnava is to give up the company of non-devotees. A so-called mature devotee, however, commits a great offense by giving up the company of pure devotees. The human being is a social animal, and if one gives up the society of pure devotees, he must associate with non-devotees. Asat Sangha. Asat Sangha Tyaga Ei Vaishnava Achar. Now, sometimes people, in a fanatic way, act with apparent non-devotees who have not taken up the process as if they have got corona. No. What does it mean to give up the association of non-devotees? You go to the office, you go to the shop, you sit in the bus, you're non-devotee, go away. In the train, धक्का मार रहा है, क्या करेगा? Non-devotee भी है तो कोई भी है, बेचारा बच्चे चढ़ा है ना अंदर ट्रेन में, तो you cannot enter the local train at all, because once in a way sometimes pure devotees may get inside. What does it mean? Association means 6 types of loving exchanges. Dadati pratigrihnati guhyamakhyat bhungte bhoj priti lakshanam. Lovingly opening our heart to someone. That is associating. Hello, bye, hi, bye. That's not association. Or doing our duty, interaction as a duty. But when we open our heart to listen very, very respectfully, attentively, with a desire to apply it in our lives, that kind of thing must be avoided. Otherwise, we will become a group of fanatics who will, and also that will also a subtle pride. Non-devotee. I'm a devotee. So, even that's a pride actually. We are supposed to be the servants of everyone. Even if one thinks that, this is very important, even if one thinks that there are so many pseudo-devotees or non-devotees in the Krishna consciousness society, still one should stick to the society. If one thinks that the society's members are not pure devotees, one can keep direct company with the spiritual master, and if there is any doubt, one should consult the spiritual master. However, unless one follows the spiritual master's instruction concerning the regulatory principles and hearing the holy name of the Lord, one cannot become a pure devotee. By one's mental concoction, one falls down. So, how important it is to maintain a good association. Jaisa sang vaisa rang. Tell me who your associates are, and I'll tell you who you are. Tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. Friends meaning where you have 6 loving exchanges. And now we move further. अच्छा, so now प्रभु जी आपका प्रवचन मैंने सुना और स्टील का गेट बना दिया है. अरे हाथी तो छोड़ो महाराज, मच्छर नहीं घुस सकता, उसको मैंने ऐसा प्रोटेक्शन कर दिया है. अच्छा, नरिशिंग चल रहा है कि नहीं? चल रहा है ना प्रभु जी, 64 करता हूं. Still there is a problem. In nourishing also there is a problem. Basically, this is what. One is nourishment should go on. There is a problem one there. And the protection part we discussed. But now about nourishing part. किंतु यदि लतार संगे उठे उपशाखा भुक्ति मुक्ति वांछा जत असंख्य तार लेखा. किंतु यदि लतार संगे, अच्छा नाउ यू आर वाटरिंग. प्रभु जी मैं तो एक पूरा पाइप लगा दिया हूं, इजराइल से मंगाया हूं, कांस्टेंट ड्रिपिंग पाइप, कभी सूखेगा ही नहीं. बट इन द प्रोसेस व्हाट हैपेंस इज मेनी अदर बीजा विच वर देयर, द कर्म बीजा, द ज्ञान बीजा, the political bija, the social bija, the philanthropic bija, all those bijas are also getting nourishment. And they will grow. They will grow because you're putting the water. I was once going to Dahod, our Gopal Krishna Prabhu station, our railway devotee. He comes every day here. If you sit him, like sits like Lord Shiva and chants his 16 rounds. Tremendous source of inspiration. You can't imagine what a, bundle of energy he is. He used to do preaching, give the class, do the arti, play the mridang, kartal, and cook and serve, feast, and also clean after that, alone for months together before devotees started helping him. So one day I went to his house in Dahod, and he was, so many tulsi plants he was putting in the soil. I said, इतना तुलसी क्यों लगा रहा है? काफी है. नहीं प्रभु जी, भर भर के तुलसी यहाँ बढ़ गया था मेरे गार्डन में. तो मैं ऑफिस गया था और मेरे उस सर्वेंट को बोल के गया था कि भाई ये जो तुलसी को छोड़ के दूसरे हैं ना, वो सबको उखाड़ देना. एंड दैट फेलो डिडंट नो कौन सा तुलसी. एवरीथिंग लुक्स, इन फैक्ट the fiber, the color, exactly it looks like tulsi. Unless you are an expert, you really don't know which is tulsi and which is a weed. It exactly looks the same. And this fellow had pulled out everything. मैंने बोला अरे यार तेरे को इतना समझ, उसको सूंघने से समझ में आता है तुलसी का एक फ्रेग्रेंस रहता है. पहले ही बोलना था ना प्रभु जी. So now he is putting 108 tulsis back again. So, किंतु यदि लतार संगे उठे उपशाखा भुक्ति मुक्ति वांछा जत असंख्य तार लेखा. And there are so many kinds of bijas since time immemorial which we have gathered here in our heart. And now because water is being poured, बारिश आता है तो सब उगता है ना. ऐसा नहीं कि केवल खेत में उगता है. So many weeds also grow because rain. Acha, and what are those bijas? So mercifully the Lord is telling us how to identify or how to know what is an upashaka. Nishiddhachar kutinati jiva himsan labh puja pratisthadi jata upashaka gan. The first is Nishiddha achar. Imagine you are putting a fire and pouring water. Putting a fire and pouring water. कोई एक चीज कर यार, आग लगा या पानी डालना. आग भी लगा रहा है, ऊपर से पानी भी डाल रहा है. Similarly, while Nishiddha Achar means something that is contrary to what your purpose is. So the Nisha, on a gross level, the 4 regulative principles. But on a subtle level, we have to be very careful. Always thinking, Anukulyasya sankalpo pratikulyasya. Is it favorable? Is it cultivating my bhakti lata? Or is it disturbing my faith? This Shraddha, we have got this Shraddha after billions of lifetimes. We should never allow anything that disturbs our faith in the Lord, in the holy name, in the devotees. If anyone is trying to, in the name and the guise of our well-wisher or friend, trying to say something which is disturbing our faith, better to close your ears and say, Prabhu, tum jano, Bhagwan jane, mere ko bolo hi mat. I don't want to get involved in this. I can't afford to lose this sacred connection that I have received. It's too precious for me to risk. How does it serve us to hear about these kind of things? Kutinati. Kutinati means diplomacy. Actually, when a person does diplomacy, even the body and the mind is dissatisfied. What to speak of the consciousness? Because if you tell one lie, you have to tell 10 lies to cover that up. So being straightforward, actually one quality of a devotee is saralata. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said. Being simple, simplicity is actually an opulence. Being straightforward. So, Jiva Himsan. Jiva Himsan means Himsa to the Jiva. That means gobbling up some living entity. On one level, it is meat eating. मेरे को अच्छा लगता है बस मुर्गी को पकड़ो मुंह में डाल दो है बेचारा उसका मुझे क्या मालूम मेरे को अच्छा लगता है बस just because you like it another living entity has also right to live. This is on a gross level, but on a subtle level, when Hanumanji was flying to Lanka, there was one demoness called Simhika. She was a mystic yogi. She had the power. Hanumanji was flying. She caught his shadow. And Hanumanji was stuck. I'm not able to fly. And he looked down. The shadow was caught and she pulled him down. And she said, I will devour you. माता जी काम है ब्रह्मा जी का वरदान है बिना मुंह में गए नहीं जा सकता बाहर ठीक है खोलो मुंह 10 yojana 20 yojana he became 100 yojana she really opened wide and then he not only entered inside he went into her mouth and into her heart did thorough surgery not surgery tore the heart. And before she died and closed her mouth, she came out. So the explanation is, sometimes we feel envy and we catch hold of the shadow or some negativities of some individual. अब कौन ऐसा शुद्ध आत्मा है पूरा सफेद है कोई काला नहीं है हो सकता है कुछ तो some past thing पिछले जन्म में कुछ तो किया था तू और इससे पहले कुछ किया था whatever hold that and pull down in the eyes of others by telling he's such a great devotee isn't it तेरे को साइड में आ जा तेरे को बताता हूँ क्या है great devotee की तरह ओ अच्छा मेरे को लग रहा था अरे लग रहा था अभी बता रहा हूं ना मैं you have literally devoured. So that is Jiva Himsa. And to this Jiva also Himsa. Whatever little faith he had, that's also. So unnecessarily, unless you are in a position to help that individual, not engaging in that. And then the other ones are Labha Puja Pratishtadi. Labha means profit according to material calculation. Materially, this will be beneficial for me. Puja is adoration achieved by satisfying mundane people. Thanks to Kali, it is giving us so many facilities. सिर्फ फेसबुक पे अपना नाम डाल कितने ऐसा आएगा देखना just to get some number of followers. I will do anything, speak anything, or whatever. It's a subtle intoxication. So much of a diversion from energy and time being, that can be engaged in devotional service. And pratishtha, becoming an important man in material calculation. Of course, we can discuss many things about this. So, we just only 3 verses left of the 12. सेक जल पाया उपशाखा बाड़ी जाए, स्तब्ध होइया मूल शाखा बाड़ी ते ना पाए. And when we are not attentive, if you are doubtful, most of us are little doubtful. So this endeavor that I am doing, is it actually pleasing Krishna, or is it really Bhakti Lata? Or is it an Upashaka? Because Prabhupada mentions in one place, one should be very careful to avoid all these unwanted things. Sometimes these unwanted creepers look exactly like the Bhakti Lata creeper. They appear to be the same size and same species when they are packed together with the Bhakti Lata creeper. But in spite of this, the creeper are called Upashakha. A pure devotee can distinguish between the Bhakti Lata creeper and a mundane creeper. And he is very alert to distinguish them and keep them separate. Anya bhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavratam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktir uttama. If you want to have uttama bhakti and not mixed bhakti, we have to be very careful. And if we are not so aware, we could always consult in terms of, is this activity, is this desire, is this endeavor, do you think there is some motive here? Or is it okay? And then, Seka jal paya upashaka badi jai. And if you, without alertness, keep on watering, the creepers also grow so much, eventually they may suffocate the original Bhakti Lata. Stabda hoya mula shakha badi te na pae. You get stunted and eventually it dries up. And dries up means you lose taste for bhakti to Krishna. Anything in relationship to Krishna. Prathame upashakhar karoye chedan tabe mula shakha badi jai vrindavan. Prathame upashakha karoye chedan. So we have to be very alert to detect which is an upashakha. And in the khet, in the fields, they do that. As soon as the rain comes, these people go and pull out all the unwanted creepers so that all the water actually goes to the creeper and luxuriant, growth of the main thing is there. And then Mahaprabhu concludes saying, Prema phal paki pade mali asvadai lata avalambi mali kalpa vrikshapai. When the fruit of devotional service becomes ripe and falls down, the gardener tastes the fruit and thus takes advantage of the creeper and reaches the desire tree of lotus feet of Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. So the point is, the whole description from 2nd canto till the 9th canto is actually to enlighten us, to discriminate, and to enliven us to protect the Bhakti Lata, which we need to maintain so that in this lifetime, till our last breath, we at least are focusing, maintaining our focus, Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana, to that particular goal of life. And then we don't worry about Brahma Loka and let all the Lokavasis stay there, no problem. Let them be happy wherever they are. But our happiness is in actually reaching the lotus feet of Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we'll conclude here. It's already delayed. Hari Bol.
Namo Vishnupadaya